Because reading is what?
Fundamental.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of What You Reading. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Delize. Welcome back, guys. So this week's episode is on a book that I keep calling Inside Out, and that's not what it's called. It's actually called Lights Out.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, it's so funny when she be calling it Inside Out for real.
I've been calling it Inside Out nonstop, but it's actually called Lights Out, and it's by Navessa Allen. You can read it anywhere you can find books and things. So let's get into it.
Okay, so the beginning of the story is about a girl. Her name is Allie. Allie is a nurse. You know, she goes to work 12 hours a day in a hospital. And she is just talking about herself and how she has like this dark pleasure kink. And it's like she watches this man, and I think it's TikTok. Pretty clear that it's TikTok.
I wasn't sure if it was TikTok or if it was Instagram.
Feels like TikTok, but we're gonna say it was social network, whatever.
Yeah.
And so she watches him all the time, and he drops new videos maybe twice a week, something like that. And it was just a mass man, and she was so into that. She was so into that. But she had been working nonstop, and she got home one night. She was like, you know what? I ain't had me no ass in a while. And after she watched his TikTok, she's like, I'm really feeling it. And so she calls her ex. It wasn't even her ex. They was just friends with benefits.
Right.
And his name was Josh. So she called him and she's like, hey, Josh, want to come on over? He like, girl, it's been 2 months. I ain't seen you. I ain't heard from you. And I'm in a whole relationship. So no, I cannot come over.
Wasn't Josh the mask guy?
No. Josh was her man. Wait.
I thought Josh was the mask guy and Tyler.
Okay, sorry. You're right.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, or what's his
name?
Tyler?
Tyler was the Tyler was the on again, off again boy.
Okay.
Friends with benefits, and he was like, "Girl, no, I'm in a whole relationship."
Whole relationship, girl. You missed your turn.
And she was like, "Damn, it has been 2 months. I've just been working my ass off, so I didn't really realize that it had been 2 months." So she do her thing and she go to sleep. On the other hand, Tyler has a roommate called Josh. Now, Josh is the masked man, but Tyler did not know that he was the masked man. So how it came up is that Tyler showed. Whoa. Let me go back. So before she even called Tyler, she texted him and asked him, was he into this? Sent him a screenshot of the masked man. He said, no, I'm not into that either. So she was like, damn, he ain't into that. And it didn't been 2 months, whatever. So go back to where Tyler is now showing Josh this. He was like, look what she into now. He was like, who? Oh, you remember Allie? You remember her? We used to go on again, off again. We used to mess around or whatever. He was like, oh, okay. And it just kind of kept in his mind, oh, shit, that's me. Now, the reason that Josh don't want to show himself is because Josh, daddy, is a serial killer. And Josh looked real similar to his daddy. So he protects himself by wearing this mask. He don't really be going nowhere unless it's nighttime. He do his grocery shopping at night. He do everything at night. He has an online job. He is a hacker. He worked for a big company, but he worked from home as a hacker. So nobody sees him. That's what his whole thing was. So Tyler knows Josh past. And Tyler and Josh are really close. And Tyler does protect Josh as well in that way. So go ahead, girl.
So Josh and Tyler, like she was saying, they've been friends for a very long time and since like they was kids. So he's very familiar. And so what he has done to kind of help with um protecting Josh is to make sure that he doesn't have anybody come over to the house that is familiar with any true crime stuff, is not really familiar with anything like that, so that they wouldn't recognize Josh because they do live together. And so anybody that he's ever dealt with has not been interested in that stuff. So he shows this to and so when he showed him the thing, Josh was like, oh crap, this is me, but Tyler didn't know that. So that was kind of that on that. Well, she watches a lot of Josh's videos, and there's this guy, she ends up commenting on his stuff or whatever, and like she wants some of these things to happen to her because she's mentioned it before and people always look at her like she's crazy. So she's made a comment to his page, and actually, did he comment back?
He comments on the page, and he now knows who she is by commenting. So now he's going and looking through all her comments.
He find all her comments. He find her social media. He find everything that he needs to know in order to stalk her.
About it.
Yeah, he stalks her.
Yeah.
He stalks her. So
yes, that's it.
So go ahead.
So like you said, he is obsessed with her, and he is basically like, I gotta figure out who this girl is, where she live at, this, that. Now he's like, he knows that somebody likes, like really, because he has a following.
He has a huge following.
He has a big following, but he knows that he don't know them people.
Yeah, she's right in the area.
That is in his area and into it, and he thinks she look good because he already been seen her a bunch of times.
Exactly. And you know what's so crazy about this? What did this remind you of? What show did this remind you of? Him being obsessed with her like that and find out all the information about her. I don't know if you actually watched the show now that I'm thinking of it.
What?
Did you watch You?
No.
Okay. So it reminded me of You, because in You, he finds these people and he like hyper fixates on them and gets all of their information, and they have like a coincidental meetup, but it's never coincidental. Like he's done all his research, and that's what it reminded me of.
Exactly what this is.
Yeah, he did his research. He knew where she worked. Yeah. He knew her schedule. He knew what types of locks she had. Everything that you could possibly think of, he knew. And with that information, and especially because he was a hacker, he hacked into her laptop. Is that too far?
No, but he goes to her house.
Yeah, he does. The camera. Okay, so he gets all that information. Sorry, thank you, because again, I don't remember much. Okay,
she worked third shift, y'all.
Right. She works third shift. So she sees a video of him when she's at work, and she's like, dang, I can't wait to get home because I'm about to rub one out. So she's like getting
it's so easy.
I mean, that's what she did. So
she was fighting hack. She was like, rub this out.
Yeah, she got to get this out. So she like, all right, she got a plan in her head. She gets home. Homie has broken into her crib.
Yes. And not only broke into her crib and got along with her cat that don't get along with nobody.
That cat loved him. Loved
him.
And then the way he talked about the cat was just so cute.
Yes, I love the role of the cat.
I do too. It was actually the main character, honestly.
For real.
So yeah, go ahead.
So she sees on her end that he done left this video, and she's like, oh, I can't wait to go home. I can't wait to go home. I want to see this right now. So she watches the video, and she like, well, damn, shit look familiar. That background looked familiar. But she just thought she was crazy.
Yeah.
So she just like, let me just end my shit. Let me get off of here. So she got off of there. She finished her shift, goes home, and figure out some shit look different. Okay, some shit look different. And now the cat weirdly meowing. And she
Mm-hmm.
was like, "What is going on?" But she didn't care about it. She was just like you said, ready to rub that thing out, baby. So she was like, "Let me get my video, let me get my stuff ready or whatever." And she looked at it, and then she was like, "Wait a minute, this shit is weird." And I think that's when I'm trying to think if she talked to him before that or after that. After that,
I think it's after that. Because I remember.
I think he made a comment back and forth on there a little bit before he made that video.
Right. Yeah, they were communicating a little bit back and forth before, and then he took the video and stuff like that, and then she went
Mhm.
home and was like, "This looked like my crib." And then she started imagining the fact that he was in her house and like what that would be like and all that. So then that made her like extra horny. So she did what she needed to do. Long story short.
Yeah. And then she, after she figured out this is my damn house, she commented, or I don't know if she messaged him, private messaged him. I think she private messaged him. And she was like, "Is this my house?" And he said, "Well, what if it is?" And she was like, "That's not funny.
Right.
How did you get in my house?" This mug had turned the street lights off on her street to sneak into this lady's house. You hear me?
Which is
Not
crazy.
only did
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
not only did he do that, he put cameras all around her damn house, and he hacked her damn computer.
And her camera and was like, "You really should get better security."
And not only that, we'll order her some better security.
Ordered her some better security so that nobody should be able to get into it, and locks for her door, and the little
Yes.
stopper thing for her door. And because she
Mhm.
was super close with the neighbors, tried to find ways to hide himself so that he didn't get caught with the neighbors either. So all the cameras were placed in ways that he wouldn't be caught if he
Right.
was on them.
Right. So now she's like, I don't know if he got video everywhere or just sound, but he
he
could
had
hear.
he had video and sound, and then she ended up, so for a little bit they were playing that like cat and mouse game, and she was trying to figure out who he was and all of that and trying to
Mm-hmm.
get ahead. And so at some point she ends up turning off the video, but he still had audio because
Yeah,
she
because she
finds
covered the
the,
camera up on
yeah,
her computer.
yep.
So now she talking to him. She like, "Was you in my?" And y'all, the book in the book, she's talking to him so easy. It seems like they talking on the phone, but they not.
They
They
not.
messaging back and forth. So she's like, "You run for being in my house, blah 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 blah," and I'm covering up my cameras and stuff. But honey, he still could hear everything. But he did not listen to her when she pleased herself. And she asked him, "Was you listening? Was you watching me when I did that?" And he was like, "No, I wouldn't do that or
Right.
whatever."
There was
And so,
boundaries. Breaking
yeah,
in, okay. Watching her masturbate, hard stop.
right, right. Yeah, because he was like, even I have some boundaries.
Right, like
That
not much because you literally were in the crib, but fine. Someone gotta have a line.
literally jack your dick on my back. So,
Literally. It's so funny. So
but
funny.
go ahead, girl.
So they have that whole little conversation, and so she hides her camera. He still has audio, which she's not aware of until a little bit later that he has the audio. And then they kind of do this back and forth thing where he's like he's doing things and popping up and leaving things at her house. Wait, that's right, right?
That was me. Nah, cause he started leaving stuff at her house. Yeah, did he leave it? Yeah, cause when she woke up that next morning, she was hungry,
And he had
and
made her breakfast,
he had
and
put
yeah,
food in her that he put her favorite breakfast that she liked in her refrigerator.
yeah, and her
And then she
coffee.
found out you watching me. Where else are you watching me? Are you watching me at work? See, he watch her everywhere, y'all.
Everywhere. So now I'm gonna go to the is that still, that might still be too far. No, that's still too far. I was gonna go to the work incident where he because
Yeah,
that
it
was
is
the
too
first time
far.
they actually met in person though, right?
Yeah, because no, they met in person for the first time. Okay, let's get there. So she called Tyler, asked Tyler, hey, I got this
Oh,
man
that's
acting in on my
right.
shit,
That's
and I don't
right.
know who it is. Can you think your homeboy can help me? Because I know he a tech guy.
Yeah.
This mug, he's sitting over here with his friend. Like, oh shit. That shit wanna come over here. So he know both ends of the story. It's so
Right.
weird. Cause like she's like, can you just tell him? Can we just set up a meeting? Then he agreed to set up a meeting with his homeboy. But now he know now not Tyler, but Josh
Josh.
knows that she coming over. So he like had to think about it. He was like, oh shit, now she gonna see my background and know exactly who I am. And he didn't want that, so he was like, we got to figure something else out. So, uh, you know, as time go by, they still kind of talking back and forth. He kind of taunting her a little bit, kind of teasing, playing with her. And then he like, by the way, all your security stuff is at your house.
Real quick though, before you get there, I wanted to talk about when they did have that first meetup because when they first had that first meetup, he wasn't really he was doing a search kind of, but he wasn't doing like a really detailed search because he knew he was looking for himself. So he kept kind of like looping stuff in circles to kind of waste her
No,
time.
that
But
wasn't that first meet, but that ain't the. That was the first after the first meetup. But the first meetup was when she was at work. And remember, he had got to her car.
I
He went
thought
to her car. She was gonna get an Uber. This okay. Remember that she was gonna get an Uber home
right, but when you were just
because
talking about how she had asked Tyler for if his friend could help her find out who this guy was, and they had set up that meeting, and they met, and he didn't want her to see the room. That's the meeting I'm
yeah,
talking about.
yeah, but she hadn't got there yet.
Oh, okay, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, she hadn't got there because she met him and remember that she met him the first night he came and crunk her damn car up when she was coming to get her shit out to get an Uber home. Remember?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And that's when she seen the tattoos on his arm and she figured out who he was when she went to that house because she seen the tattoos on his arms again.
Oh, and she had cut him. Remember?
Yes, and she seen the and he tried to hide it.
Right.
Remember?
Well, and she grabbed his hand and grabbed it real tight. He had to act like it didn't bother him none. So
Hmm.
he was trying. Yeah, now I remember.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just where it went. I mean, I'm sorry, we kind of just was trying to
Jumbled it
figure out what
up.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what happened, y'all. She was working one night late at night. She had already got this whole thing set up with Tyler that she was gonna be with the homeboy, figure out who this man was. Meanwhile, she was at work. It was a snowy night. She worked real, real hard that night. And then he was like, oh, she was like, I'm gonna get an Uber home. She ended up going to her car to get something, and her car was crunk. This mug sitting in the car with the mask.
Mask and voice modulator. Actually, I don't think he did. He have the voice
He didn't have
modulator?
the voice
Not
modulator
at the
yet.
time.
So
So
he
he's
was
sitting here
talking to
trying to
her through text.
a mess. A mess. What are you doing, sir?
Right. And they was having full on
Full on
conversation
conversation. His little fingers
through
was
text.
going. What? Well, them little fingers was moving. He was doing
For
whole
real, because she
paragraphs.
figured out like they talked a lot in that car.
They did. And
So
while they were
she
in the car, she got freaked out because he did something. He had a gun and he had a knife. The gun wasn't loaded, but he had a knife. And he was like, hey, I know this is kind
no,
of weird.
she had a gun. He didn't have no gun.
He came with
She had
stuff.
a gun. She had a gun. He had a knife.
I thought okay. So there was a knife and a gun in the car. And
She had
so
a gun. She had a gun in that glove box.
yeah, so he took him out and was like, "Hey, I know it's kind of like if you don't feel the safest here, just you point this at me. This is not for you. You pointed at me." And she was like, "Okay, bet." But at some point she got freaked out or got scared and she ended up cutting him. It was an accident. Actually, I don't think
After
she got freaked out.
she sucked the stick. Remember?
That happened the first time?
They were in the car. They were driving in that snowy snow, and she must be beautiful, honey, because they pulled up to a car. And remember, there was guys in the car, and they was trying to holler at her. And this man just go get out the car and stand there with the knife, like, yeah, what's up? Didn't say nothing.
You want a
Just had the
problem?
knife out. Yeah. And he was just like, and they drove. And so, she seen that he had that knife. He gave her that knife. And because he knew that she wasn't feeling comfortable. So he gave her the knife and she got to talking to him and telling him how she was turned on by that damn mask. And she was like, let me suck your dick. And he was like, what? It was like fast. He was taken back by it. And she was like, yeah, you here? What's up?
When am I going to get this
And
opportunity again?
right. And she started giving him some head, but he did not nut. And then she ended up stabbing him then. She ended up stabbing him in the process and didn't mean to. And when she did it was too deep.
It was really deep,
So
so she
did
ended up had to give him
mm-hmm,
stitches
mm-hmm,
and then in a bandage. Which how do you hide that?
right. So he goes to her house. They have this whole night texting,
Which
right. Talk about the cat and everything.
first of all, the way that they talk about the cat is just so cute because he's like our son this, our son that.
Yeah, the
Don't talk
baby.
about the sweet angel baby. Like
Yeah,
it's so cute.
right. And so I'm
All
trying to
right.
think of yeah. Oh yeah, I was just trying to think about what happened. Like, did he stay the night? Like she wanted to have sex. He was like, no, go to bed. You've been up
Yeah,
all night.
because so one of the reasons why he was hesitant to have sex with her is because he wanted to tell her the whole truth about him before they did anything. He was very um particular about that. He told one of his exes and it like completely destroyed their relationship. And so he's been very hesitant to do it ever again. And so this time he was like, I want to let her know everything before we're physical with one another because I don't want everything to start out on a lie, which perspective, I guess, because it kind of did anyway. But neither here nor there. Neither here nor there.
All right, so they are now going. They're back at her house, and she wants to have sex. He said, "No, take your ass to sleep." So she do, and she just kind of noticed that he already taking care of me, you know. And so the next morning she wakes up and um she called her boss and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna need them 2 weeks off." So she taking 2 weeks off, but not yet. You got to take some time to take off 2 weeks. Anyway, so she called her boss to take 2 weeks off. She noticed that he started taking care of her, and that's about it for that. And the next day now is your scene where they meet at Josh's house. So you go ahead with that.
Um. Oh, okay. So they meet at the house. Tyler leaves because he has got somewhere to be, and he's like, "Are you guys gonna be cool?" And she's like, "Yeah," or something like that. Josh was like, "Yeah, it'll be fine, no big deal." Blah blah blah. He moves all of his stuff to the living room because he's like, "She is not about to see my room. She cannot see my room because she's not gonna know immediately who I am." Mind you, she already peeping like who she
Mm-hmm.
think he may be. So they
Mm-hmm.
get there. Tyler leaves. She meets Josh. They're interacting. He's kind of quirky. She's quirky. They kind of have their little banter back and forth. He's searching for, this person who he's not searching hard because he already knows who it is, but he's having to make it look like he's searching hard. And so
Mm-hmm.
they end up, when they meet, something happens because she's already got her suspicions that the masked man is him. And so they end up like something with the hand. She ends up gripping his hand or something. I can't remember if it was a handshake or something that they did, but she pressed pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to act like it didn't bother him none because he knew that if he flinched in the slightest, she was going to know. He went as far as turning the AC all the way down so that it was cold in there so that he could have long sleeves on and gloves and all this other stuff so that she couldn't see the tattoos, couldn't see the bandages and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Which again, she was like, "This masked man is Josh." She in her head was like, "This is Josh." But
Yeah,
okay,
she already knew it, but she
so
loved it at the
she loved
same
it.
time.
Yeah, she was
Mm-hmm.
here for it, but she was also like, "This is him." So much
Mm-hmm.
like they kept going back and forth because she's like, "I'm gonna figure you out." Like they was talking mess back and forth to each other, and at some point, which that happens later, but so yeah, so all that happens. She don't really get much information because he can only do what he can do fighting himself.
Right,
So
right,
um she pretty much ends up leaving with more confirmation that the masked man is Josh.
right.
um more than anything. Um, I'm trying to think what else happened.
She goes home, and that's when she like, oh yeah, I know this Josh. I'm about to get. So then she get home and take that tape off
Hair.
that damn camera.
Yep.
And when she take it off the camera, he gets a ping on his phone, and he's like, oh shit, she took the tape off. So what is she really trying to do? And so she was like, yeah, I'm gonna get his ass. And she pulled out her vibrator. She get the playing with herself. And he like, wait a minute. Don't do that. Don't do that. And he like, they like talking too at the same time.
The whole
Now this time he now has that voice modulator.
right.
So he literally is still talking to her through that. So she
Right.
talking to him, and she was like, yeah, I'm playing with myself. I'm this and I'm that. He's like, Allie, don't do it. Allie, don't do it. Why are you doing this to me? Next thing you know, this mug is flying to her house.
That man did not play about that girl at
Baby,
all.
he and got on in the house, turned the alarm off and everything.
Said hi to the cat.
Look, said hey to the cat and told Fred to go by your way because mommy and daddy gotta play.
Yep.
So mommy and daddy played hard.
Yep.
And they had sex and went to sleep. Is all I think that's happening.
I can't remember. I don't remember if they had
Oh,
sex.
I remember they did have sex. They did have sex, and then they was getting in the shower and stuff after that. And remember now, this is daytime because she worked mornings. She works nights. So
Right, 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 right.
So this is still daytime. So then she like, oh, I'm gonna figure out who he is. So she tried to take a tracking device and put it in his bag, y'all. And now meanwhile, y'all know he can watch everything she's doing. So while he in this other room, he watching her in her room, put the tracking device in his bag, and he just sit back laughing at her.
The thing that was so funny, and I forgot to mention this when she was at the house. So when she was at the house, when she had her suspicions, she tried to text his phone to see if he was going to react, but he had already programmed automatic responses to go out. So if she texted him, the responses would go out no matter what, and he wouldn't have to text anything. And he had made it pretty extensive. So
Right.
when she put that hidden that tracking device in his thing, he was like, I'm about to play with her again. So when he leaves, he drives all over the
Right.
city, and he spelled out, what did he spell out? LOL.
LOL.
I'd have been so pissed, like, this
I
motherfucker here,
picture her saying, son of a bitch.
son of a bitch. Like, he played with her so much, and it made me mad for her.
Yeah.
um, so yeah, so
And that's when she was like, you know what? I'm gonna get him. I know this is Josh. Let me take this shirt and I'm gonna take it to work and get it ran for DNA.
so she had a piece of hair, and she was like, "Hey, girl," in the lab. "Hey, girl, I got this hair.
I
Can
thought it
you?"
was a shirt.
It was a piece of hair.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, "Hey, girl, can you figure out who this belonged to?" And she was like, "Yeah, something, something, something." So she's like, "It's real busy, girl. I will do what I can, but it's real busy. So just give me some time." So she kind of felt bad about it, was like, "Hey, don't worry about it, whatever, whatever," and just kind of left it at that. Anyway, so there was this patient. I'll go back to it later. There's this patient that that came in. He was beaten up pretty bad, but he was beaten up pretty bad because it was said that he had assaulted a woman, and he was kind of an asshole about it, and had a history of doing stupid shit like this. And so
Mm-hmm.
all the nurses were kind of like waiting outside the room, not really wanting to go in because they just, women did not want to be in there, whatever, whatever. So Allie was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go in and I'm going to tell this piece of shit, I'm going to still take care of him, but he's a piece of shit. So she
Mm-hmm.
goes in there, and homie is trying to like talk to her, kind of like he's trying to have back and forth, but she's not really giving him a whole lot until he says something that pisses her off. And she like
Yeah.
kind of sort of threatens him, but doesn't really, but kind of sort of does threaten him a little bit.
Yeah, she does.
She does. So much so that
Mm-hmm.
he called his guards and was like, "Guards, they're in it." And she was like, "No, that's not." I mean, she got in trouble a little bit. She kind of got in trouble because they were like trying to figure out what happened. But then once all that happened, they were like, "Yeah, it's good." But Josh could see all this happening. So he was super aware of it, and homie was getting pissed the entire time. The thing about Josh was he had a funny way of just popping up and making people feeling some type of way or being in these situations that were not ideal for them.
This guy, did you say he's a rapist?
Yeah, I said he had assaulted that lady.
Yeah, so she ended up like cussing him out, calling him a shrimp dick, all kind of shit. And at the time, now mind you, y'all know that Josh is watching every fucking thing.
Everything.
So Josh is like, oh, he watching her. He knew. Josh then looked up the guy, found out. Y'all remember he's a hat guy. He can do everything.
He
So
found
Josh then
everything.
looked. Yeah, Josh then found out who this guy was and everything. He called her, asked her, is she all right? All this stuff. He liked her around him. She was like, I'm all right. And she had got in trouble with HR. HR told her not to go back in there, all kind of stuff.
Because didn't they put her on leave or something like that because of it? Or
Well,
was that just a leave
she was going on her vacation time
anyway?
anyway. Yeah. And so she ended up leaving. And Josh kind of wanted to go down there and get her because he wanted to kill that mug, but he did not. He was like, she could take care of herself. I'm gonna let her be. So he did. So, she ended up her night and she left. So as the shift is going on, before she had to leave, before the shift ended, she seen somebody, a woman come in because she worked in the ER department. And the woman head was bashed in. She started having flashbacks. She started thinking, because it started to talk about her mom actually died in a car wreck. And she felt like she was the reason her mom died. Do you remember what was happening?
Like
Like, was
what
she
caused her
going
to
to
get in
get,
she was on her way
yeah.
to see her. She had because she was she a dancer or she was something, and her mom was like on her way to come see it, whatever it was. I can't remember what it was, but it was something. And on the way in, she ended up getting into a oh no, I'm sorry. They were in the car together and they had an
Yeah.
argument, and
Mm,
they were going back and forth, and then just like out of nowhere stuff happened, and then that's kind of what caused them to, I think the car flipped and all of that, but she survived and our mom didn't survive
yeah.
because I think a
And
tree or something went through the Final Destination ship for sure.
yes, honey, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
And her head was bashed in. So when she seen that lady at the hospital, she had flashbacks. And
Yeah.
Josh was like, coming to get you.
Coming to get you, girl, because she was out of it. She didn't know where she was
Yeah.
at. She didn't
Yeah,
know what she was doing.
it fucked her up for real.
It did.
So Josh was like, well, I'm coming to get you. So Josh went and got her, took her home, and then he kind of nourished her and like kind of was like, what happened? But you don't have to tell me if you want to. She ended up telling him what happened. And he was like trying to reassure her, telling her, girl, it's not your fault. This is not your fault. Shit just happened. And she was like, she cried. And then after she cried, all she could cry anymore. And then she wanted to have sex. And
Because
she
what doesn't
wanted
make you
to,
more horny after some tears? Like you want to cry it out and then
right,
get some dick.
right. And she wanted to go dark, dark. Like she said she wanted to go dark. So he took her dark, basically.
I just want to say,
And
sorry,
mhm.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
This book starts out with a bunch of trigger warnings. A bunch of trigger
Mm.
warnings. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, so they went really dark. And when I say dark, he like made her stab him dark.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
guess this time he didn't need stitches, but he wanted
Yeah.
to be stabbed.
Yeah.
Oh no, no, that ain't what happened. Not that time. What happened was she wanted to go dark. He put that knife in the bed and told her to ride that knife.
Oh, that's right. The handle. That's right.
Yeah. And she was like, it's not sanitized properly. And he was like, girl, I'm about to clean this up for you. He cleaned that thing up for her. And she did it. So that's where dark we leave. Um, so after they had sex, they went to sleep and they heard a break in.
Which
And
wild.
when Right. Go ahead.
So they hear the break-in and they're like, what the hell happened? Come to find out, homie that was at the hospital then found her crib. And he had his people and him, and he was like, I'm gonna break into this bitch, not knowing that because he was exactly what they had thought he was, and he was doing those things to women. And so he was like, I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get her because she's not about to say these things to me. So he's like, great, I'm gonna break into her house. Didn't realize that he had two crazy ass motherfuckers there. So like so he break in, Josh like, I've been waiting on some shit like this. Allie like, Allie like, okay, I've been waiting to freaking crash out on
Yeah.
some damn body. Come
Right.
on. So they this was such a crazy like
Shame.
situation.
Yeah.
Like in what world would that just work out that way?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What the
And
heck?
so then
Sorry.
Josh ended up like beating him up and then like putting something over his head, trying to tie him up good, and then found out that he actually had a murder kit. He had planned on murdering her.
Yeah,
So
homie was not playing.
he had a whole kit, y'all. Like he
Like
was gonna do some things to her.
he was gonna make her suffer. He's about to torture her. He had a whole
Hmm.
like Dexter type of kid type
Right.
shit. And so you're right. Josh ended up beating him up or whatever and putting something over his head. Him and her went to go talk. They go back in the room. Homie dead because he was suffocated.
No, they weren't there. No, they were. He wasn't there until he got in that car. They
Oh,
beat him up, wrapped his ass up, and put
because
him in that
because
car.
he suffocated.
He suffocated in that car when they was about to take him to that girl. Okay, this was the plan.
Oh, that's right.
The
That's right. That's
plan
right.
was that they
That's
was
right.
going to take him, put her at his last rapist house that he actually killed and
Right.
got away with because he's done this so many times. But his daddy is high up on the totem
And
pole. Okay,
they got money.
money and they in the justice system. So
Yep.
they got him off of all that shit he was doing.
Yep.
And so they knew that he had got off of that last murder. They planned on taking him to that family house and let the family finish the rest.
Right.
Bitch, that's not what happened.
Not
They
at all.
drove to the family house, opened the damn trunk. This mother back there dead because he
Dead.
forgot to put holes in the plastic.
So now they freaking out because they're like, damn, Josh is like sick. He is sick, sick. Like, oh my God. Allie, like, I mean, sometimes you just gotta kill people. Like, I don't know. I don't know why you're tripping about it. Like, this is kind of why are you being weird?
And the crazy thing about it is he questioned himself this whole book about him being like his dad.
He
Like
did.
he thought that inside of him he was like his dad. So
Yep.
when this happened and he got sick and he was throwing up, he knew then he was like, you know what, maybe I'm not like my dad.
Because he didn't want to be around pets because he thought he was going to do something crazy to animals. Like he was
Mm-hmm.
worried
Mm-hmm.
about being around women sometimes. He was worried about all that. So when this, like you said, happened, he was like, oh, okay. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing that was funny about it is because Allie was just kind of like, I mean, okay. So she's like, I got some family or whatever. They in the business. We'll get in contact with them and they'll help us out. And
Mm-hmm.
he's like,
Mm-hmm.
kind of life have you lived? Like,
Right, right.
he's like, what do you mean? She's like, I got a cousin that works at the hospital too, but like he got in because, things, I can't really talk too much about it, but things are
Mm-hmm.
things are things. So
Mm-hmm.
now after the freak out has happened, she's like, all right, let's go to my uncle's. So they go to the uncle's house and
The uncle pissed off.
you bringing me a dead body? What is wrong with you?
Right.
Go ahead, girl.
So she brought the dead body to the uncle house. The uncle is freaking out because he's like, bitch, I live here. I know how to take care of this, but why would you bring me to my house? Well, all these people can watch me. He
Yep.
was like, get your ass in that car and drive back in.
Yep.
So he made her get back in that car and drive her ass right back out. She had to stay. The brother was going to take, I mean, his son, her
Her
cousin,
cousin. Yeah, yeah,
her weird ass cousin that worked at the hospital. I
yeah.
imagine him mopping the floor like this.
Yeah. Right.
And just looking weird because they kept talking about how weird he was at
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
hospital. So anyway, so her weird ass cousin and her went to take the body elsewhere. We don't know where they went, but he could not go because it was two of them came in, so two of them had to go back out.
Right.
So because they knew that it was cameras and shit in the neighborhood,
Right.
So then her uncle was like, the uncle was like, nah, you stay here. And then he kind of figured out he was the hack guy and he could use him in other ways and all this shit happened. So Josh ended up going with the uncle to the man house
Yeah.
because they knew that they had to hack his computer because they knew that he had found out where this girl lived there. He had searched her. So they wanted to take all that shit out.
Yep.
So they got to the house, thought they did everything they supposed to do, but didn't.
Yes.
So, okay, so what happened was they ended up thinking that they were finished that night. She ended up after when her cousin went back to his house because they couldn't go back to her house because the cousins had to clean up her house.
Right.
So they ended up going back to Josh's house, which Tyler was there. And that's when she figured out she got the phone call while she was there. And that was the lady that worked at the hospital and told him the DNA.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So that DNA that we mentioned before, the lady, her homegirl called back about the DNA while she was at the house, but Josh wasn't there yet and Tyler was there. So she's freaking out because the hair didn't match Tyler. I mean, the hair didn't match. It wasn't Josh's hair, but it was she was able to check like the genetic code and it matched his dad's. Something was weird about it. Like it wasn't his or it wasn't in the system or something was weird about it. And so they ended up tracking it to his dad. And that's how she ended up finding out his dad. Well, she knew that information. So then she went to go ask Tyler and was like, hey, boo, what the fuck's up with your boy? What he got going on? And he's like, I don't really think I should be the one telling you this. And she was like, no, I need you to say something. And so he was like, okay, bet. This is what's going on, da 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 da. And she was freaked out. She was freaked out. And thankfully, she actually took a second because she was about to dip, wasn't she? Did she end up leaving?
Yeah, no, she was going to leave, but she didn't. And Josh came back. I think Josh came back, and then she was like, after talking to Tyler, and Tyler kind of reassured her. He was like, he's really a good guy. He just got the bad end of the deal,
Yeah.
But he just was just talking about all this stuff about everything you mentioned earlier about him,
Yeah.
how Tyler felt about him. That's what he was talking about. So then she like kind of got softer with him. And knowing, he ain't that crazy. He don't do this and he don't do that, but he has good traits and he's not like his daddy. So I'm gonna be with him. So that's when I guess Tyler got back, and then they figured out they had to go back to that damn house. So they went to the house, and when it was like her uncle, the son, not Tyler, Josh, and then the girl, and they went there. She stayed outside. Right. They would not let her come in. And when they went in there, they smelled cat catnip, cat litter.
Oh, cat litter.
Cat litter.
Okay.
Kitty litter. Yeah.
Okay.
They smelled kitty litter, and it was very strong. They like, how much kitty litter do this man get? It is real loud up in here. And they instantly thought, the uncle stopped because they knew they was like decomposing bodies. Let's get the fuck up out of here. Okay.
He said, we're not about to be caught up in none of this mess.
We're not getting caught up in here because he got decomposing bodies here somewhere. And when they found out, they gonna search this place high and low for DNA. And our DNA cannot be here, so we got to go. Josh said, I'm not finishing. I got to finish this shit. And the uncle and the nephew was like, well, you on your damn own. I'm going to take my niece and we out of here. She would not leave. She stayed outside.
And she told him, this is the thing that she had a habit of doing. She would promise him to do something and then she would do the exact opposite of it. And he would be pissed every single time, but she would do it every single time.
She was very hard-headed.
Yeah.
So as he like on the computer trying to hack in, trying to erase all the shit, they see lights coming, and him and Allie having a full conversation out the fucking window
because they got comms on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
they was
But they
talking through
still
comms.
they
Yeah.
still got the window open right there where he at,
Yeah, yeah,
And so she's like, "Oh my God, somebody pulling up. I see lights." So then the people come in. Josh still in the room. He like, "I gotta get this shit finished." She like, "What's going on? What's going on in the house? What's happening?" And come to find out it was his parents. And his parents tried to come and knock that damn door in. And he was in there, had put a chair by the door and everything. This to try to get that done. So by the time they actually got in there, he was done. He closed it down and he's now jumping out the window. And when he's jumping out the window, the parents are seeing him jump out the window. So he jumped out the window, fell on the pergola. It was like out there, like, oh shit.
yeah.
Oh, like, and so then they like looking out, hear the daddy say, "Hey, hey," or whatever, and they took it off. Her, Allie, and him are ducking off running. So they duck it off running, but now remember the uncle and the nephew, they gone. So
They
they
did.
gotta just run to where the fuck they can run to. So
Mm-hmm.
they run in, they see the lights flipping on in the house. Josh set the alarm to go off. Josh smart.
Smart.
Yes, Josh set the alarm to go off because he like, okay, the police gonna come, all that shit. They're gonna get them people, whatever. So he set the alarm and then he ran. So they running and they see it wherever they supposed to be going to meet the uncle. They see the police going everywhere. Police everywhere, and they like, what? Oh, they out there in the damn snow on the hill, about to damn lose their toes because
Girl,
they out there in the damn
frostbite.
snow. So
Frostbite.
yeah, so they like literally are going numb, like as they are climbing up a hill, and
Yeah.
they turn over and see the nephew and the uncle. So they run, get in the car with them. Thank God. Then they feel their feet unthawed and stuff, and then they end up going. What they end up going back to the house?
I think they went back to his house. All right, so they go back to his house. Things happen. By this point now, guys, Josh has exposed his face. He's talking with his regular voice at this point because it's like she knows who he is. He's accepted it. Whatever. They've had the conversation about his past. They like we love each other. Blah blah blah. We're gonna be together
Like literally, he just took the voice thing off that night.
that night. That night, she was
After
like,
he
"I
get
love you,"
hurt,
and
and
he's
she
like, "I
like
love
this.
you."
She like take this shit off.
Yeah.
I know who you are. Take this
Right.
off. I gotta figure out if you're okay.
Yeah, I've been knowing who you were. Stop being stupid.
Right.
So that all happens. They end up doing something with the body and they have the uncle sets it up where it looks like he's using his cards in other countries. And then by
Mm-hmm.
this point there's like reports and everything about what they found at the house. And the parents
Yeah.
can't like there's no way to get out of it this time because nobody can find him. So
Mm-hmm.
it's looking like he did all this stuff and ran.
Right.
So Josh and Allie are
Oh,
completely out of it.
Uncle is smart too. Very much a career criminal.
Hello. He in that field. He in that field. He in that
Yes,
field.
yes.
So yeah, so then that all happens and they're like, okay, cool. So we're in the clear. So you don't hear nothing about that ever again because that
Yeah.
gets resolved. Um,
And
I'm
she
tr-
has to go to the uncle's house. She has to go to the uncle's house because the uncle want her to come to the house to eat meals every blue moon, whatever.
and he
And
got to
so she
bring
go to
Josh.
yeah. So she go to the uncle's house and they just talking and they're like, okay, let's get to the nitty gritty. What did you do to the body? Is everything good? Are we in the clear? And the aunt is there and it's like we don't talk business at dinner time. And
Yep.
she like get mad. She like, listen, I need to know. So they eat, they talk the shit after dinner. They end up telling them that like you said, they got him looking like he red, and they good.
Mm-hmm.
And then they made it look like that night that they ran in the snow from the parents. The nephew say, "Oh yeah, they thought that was Joshua accomplice. Thank God you got them big man feet because they thought you was a man."
They thought she was a man.
Right.
Why they play her like that? As a big-footed woman,
Right.
the disrespect.
I'm so sorry.
I'll never forget one dude clown me. He's like, "You got some big ass feet." I was like, first of all, mind your business. Secondly, let me get them J's.
Because I can wear
I
them.
can wear them. We wear the same size.
Right.
But anyway, um,
So basically, they went home after that, and then they got really close. Of course, they found it, they figured out they wanted to be with each other.
Yeah.
Woke up one night, and then she was like, they like had sex or something, and she was like, I love you, or whatever. And he was like, well, okay, I love you too, or whatever. And she was like, oh, I already knew. He was like, how you know? She was like, because he was saying it in your sleep. So he had been telling her already he loved her in her sleep.
That is so cute.
So weeks later, uh, they was having wild sex in the woods, and like with knives and shit, because they dangerous like that. And she asked him to marry her, and he just looked like, and she was like, "What? What I do? You don't want to marry me?" He was like,
I was gonna
he
ask
pulled
you
out. I was
first.
going to ask you first. The end.
The end. It was really cute.
Oh,
And
they
they
got a
had,
new cat,
I was
by the
about to
way.
say, they got another cat to add
Yeah.
to the family. So Fred's not
Yeah.
alone. It was a cute story. How did you feel about it?
I actually love this story. I love that it was dark, but not that dark.
Yeah.
It had a lot of good humor in it. I thought it was so cute. I love the uncle and the nephew. They was not playing.
No.
And yeah, I thought it was a really good read. What you
Yeah.
think?
I liked it a lot. I like the fact that it started out with trigger warnings because you're just like, ooh, okay, this, oh, okay, this. Like it kind of give you an idea of what you're about to read, which was great. I actually really enjoyed how dark it was, but also kind of what you said, like how light it was in the same sense. And I also enjoyed the fact that I just loved Fred. I loved Fred. I thought he was the best character. He was great. And I thought that the banter between Allie and Josh was really good. Like I just like how it was written because it felt so seamless and they were constantly kind of like jokey, but serious, but joked a lot in serious situations, which I think helped make the story light. So
Right.
I liked it a lot. I liked it. It was a nice, quick and easy read/listen.
Yes.
I liked it. So yeah. All right. Well, tune in next time. We were doing a BTS fanfic, which is our fave. So we will be getting that out as soon as I finish it. So yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Follow us on our socials, all of the things. If you have any recommendations, feel free to send them to us. There is a recommendations form on our page, on all of our pages, I think. So yeah, if you have a request, just send it over to us and we will read it. We do have a list, so we are getting to things as we get to them. But yeah, that is it.
Yes.
All right. Bye.